Hey guys, what's going on? So in the video today, I'm very excited because in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the Redwing Classic, the Heritage Style 6-inch Moc Toe boot in copper, rough and tough. In my early days of blogging about boots, I sort of made a vow that I would never touch the really classic ones. Everybody else on the internet has reviewed these, and I didn't think I really had much to add in that regard. But that said, I think I owe this boot. It's such a highly reputed boot. It's really synonymous with American heritage at this point. I think I owe this boot a good review. So let's get to it. First and foremost, I want to thank my buddy Joe Hangy. He actually sent these to me to review a few months ago, and I feel really bad because I'm just getting around to it now. Been super busy lately with the website and everything. By the way, not to plug my website or make a sales pitch, but these triple wraps here are available on my website. These are actually a single and a double wrap bracelet combined. This is in Seidel's Oxblood double shot, and this is in Vachetta Luxe. It's an Italian leather, very nice, very smooth, very buttery, supple stuff. So this stuff is going to age dramatically. I'm wearing both because I have a few prototypes that I'm working on and I'm just trying to age them quicker, so that's why I have two on. So anyways, enough with that. So let's get to these Redwings. These are very popular boots. Many celebrities, including Ryan Gosling, wear these boots. They're a true Moc Toe in the sense that this piece here, this is called the apron, is a separate piece from the walled area here on the vamp. So the vamp is comprised of two pieces of leather, essentially. The apron here, and then the wall area here, and then it's stitched together. And then what's really cool, now that I'm into leather work, I see what they did. They take this edge here, which would typically be an unfinished edge, similar to like what you see here along the eyelets here. This edge is unfinished. This edge, however, they would have smoothed this part out, probably using this is my handy dandy edge slicker. As you can see, it's got 3 different widths here, and you basically, there's nothing to it. Basically all you do is you find the edge that would work best with your particular edge of leather. You find the notch that will fit best with that, and then you go up and down, and you can put waxes on there and really get it slick, to really slick that out, because this area here is very rough. That's what they did on the Moc Toe to sort of clean that up and make it look like one piece of leather. It cleans it up and makes it more uniform, and so, you know, I like to take this side and just, you know, go along there and smooth that out. So that's what they did there, and that's why they call it the Moc Toe. They call it the Moc Toe because it's actually a mock makeup toe. It's not a true boot vamp. I think they would have made this style when, I guess, they didn't have enough leather. This is just my theory, but this was probably born out of the factories probably making a lot of plain toes, a lot of cap toes, and maybe they run out of leather. Instead of doing a plain toe, they had just enough to fuse 2 pieces together on the vamp here, and so that's what they probably did. I don't know. That's just my conjecture at this point. So this copper rough and tough leather is the same as this copper rough and tough found in the iconic Redwing Iron Ranger model. And what's fascinating to me about this is when you look at them, the leather actually to me looks different depending on the model. I find that very fascinating. I don't know if it's just an optical illusion on my part, but really these two don't appear to me to be the same leather, but they are. The copper rough and tough is what I would classify as more of a nubuck. It's not smooth on the surface. It's almost like got a micro suede texture going on with it, similar to like a Horween chamois, a Horween smooth chamois, that is. So yeah, I don't typically review a lot of Redwings on my channel just because, again, like I said, the boot guy on YouTube, Nick from Stridewise, Ben at Stitch Down, they've all done phenomenal work reviewing Redwings. There's a lot of other people out there. There's some channels based solely around Redwing, which is why I haven't really touched the brand. You know, it's kind of, in my opinion, it's kind of been comprehensively covered. I'd like to do this boot justice and actually review it myself. I think that's fair. So on the Redwing site, they offer the classic Moc Toe in Oro Legacy leather. They offer it in Briar Oil Slick leather. They offer it in Navy Portage. Whoa, those are nice. and they offer it in Oro Russet. So Oro Legacy and Oro Russet, those are cool. The 6-inch classic Moc is synonymous with Redwing heritage. The boot's unmistakable Moc Toe and traction tread outsole form a silhouette that sets the standard by which all others are measured. The classic Moc Toe was first made by Redwing in 1952. In the decades since, it's grown into one of the most beloved lifestyle boots in the world. Originally made for sportsmen, the boot quickly grew into a favorite of farm and factory workers for its long-lasting construction, steady traction, and all-day comfort. The classic Moc's beloved features live on today as the boot is built with the same pride and process now as it was then. Moc Toe construction and the iconic traction tread rubber outsole led the way, and Puritan triple stitching and a Goodyear welt make the boot a legend in durability. The number 23 last was created in the 1950s and is Redwing's most iconic last. It includes extra room in the forefoot and instep to fit a wide variety of foot shapes. This particular pair is the style 8146, the Roughneck boot. The Roughneck stands out as a rugged 6-inch Moc with rubber lugs for aggressive all-season traction. True to its name, the Roughneck stands up to heavy wear and lasts for years. The Roughneck is born from a boot that was first made for oil rig workers in the mid-20th century. The rig workers did notoriously dangerous work and were known by the nickname Roughnecks. The Roughneck is built tough to honor the legacy of those workers. With a 6-inch height for support and protection, thick, durable leathers, and an aggressive lugged Vibram outsole for grip on any surface, the boot is built with long-lasting Puritan triple-stitch construction and a Goodyear welt that makes it fully resolable. And so so these are going to be in an 8.5 D, which is the correct fit for my foot. These Redwings are in an 8.5 double E. You could see the difference there, right? These Redwings were actually sent to me by my buddy Mario. You can see the length is about the same. No, actually, Randy at Grantstone, Wyatt's father, taught me this. So these are both 8.5, once again, but as you go up in width, the length increases just a little bit too, but that's for cosmetic purposes. The actual heel to ball length has not increased. So what that means is when you line them up this way, by my eye, the Iron Ranger is just a little longer on the toe by a smidge to accommodate for the larger width. But if you look at the heel to ball is going to be identical. So the heel to ball is basically coming to this point. So it's from the heel to the ball, your foot will still be positioned correctly. So the heel to ball is going to be identical on this as it is on this. So the ball is just the widest part of the boot. That's where the widest part of your foot should sit for a correct fit. While that doesn't change when you go up in widths, the length will change just a little bit, and that's for cosmetic reasons. If they kept it the same length, it'd look a little fatter. It'd look a lot stubbier. Another shameless plug for my website. So since these were so generous on my foot, again, I'm a US 9 Brannick. I wear an 8.5 D in most US boot brands. These were just, I was swimming in these because we went up by 2 widths in these. So what I did is I used my Wicket & Craig. I have 2 sides of Wicket & Craig Latigo natural veg tan. I started stamping out some insoles. I noticed online that nobody sells vegetable tanned insoles anywhere. You just can't get them. I'm gonna do a separate video on this, but basically I stamped out, normally I'm a size 42 in boots, but I found that the 44s in my insole actually fit the boot. So I had to go up 2 full sizes on my insole stamp. I have a few sizes, and so I tried the 42. The 42 were sliding around in there, so the 44 fits perfectly. So this is a 9-ounce thick leather, and as you can see, it started out as a flat piece, and as you can see, it's already contoured perfectly to my foot just after one wear. I spent 1 day in these, and look at that, perfect. So the reason why I prefer these types of insoles as compared to synthetic foam insoles is because leather breathes. Similar to why I talk up the leather sole so much, it's because it gives you so much support. It's also incredibly moisture wicking. This will not get nasty over time. I've had other insoles, they make the boot fit better, but over time they get gross. They allow for microbes to build up, and for that reason I prefer a natural leather insole, but unfortunately you just can't buy those anywhere. The only ones that I found were on Amazon. They were this brand Ped Egg, and they're not very good. They're not very good quality. They're very thin. They don't offer that firm support that a thick piece of vegetable tan leather will offer. So keep an eye out. DalesLeatherworks.com. Those are going to be on my website here soon. Let me ask the audience, what do you guys think is a fair price? I was thinking between $40 and $50 for a set. I think that's a fair price because first off, you just can't buy them anywhere else, but anywhere else for like a good Dr. Sol insole or a Merrill insole, it's $50 anyways, and these are actual leather, and nothing beats actual leather. Redwing, they haven't always been my favorite just because they're sort of, first off, the copper rough and tough leather, yes, it's very tough, but isn't my favorite? No, it's not the most luxurious leather. It's, you know, it kind of has like a dry sort of beef jerky feel. The leather itself isn't like super high grade. I would rate it as more of a B grade leather. It's fine for the utilitarian purpose. It's great for that, in fact. You know, this is definitely just a rougher type of a leather. It's not dressy. It's meant to be worn casually or for work purposes. That said, you know, the stitching on Redwings, yeah, I could tell the stitches, they're just a little thin. They're not like the super highest grade stitch. They do have good stitches through the mock and on the welt. That is, you know, on par with what I would say is some of the best stitches, in my opinion. The Ritza Tiger thread, which my buddy Isaac opened my eyes to. That stuff is very high quality. Redwing does use some of that throughout their construction. So it's a 360-degree Goodyear welt. The Moc Toe also uses the high quality thread, but the rest of the boot, and it's not necessary to have the high grade stitching throughout the rest of the boot, but yeah, the rest of the boot just kind of uses like a thin black thread, which is fine. It goes around the throat here, single stitched down the eyelets, triple stitched along the vamp. The vamp stitching here in particular, it looks like it's got some glue on there or rolling, but yeah, you can see the marks from the machine. Yeah, and it looks like there's glue. The glue's not like super sloppy, it's just sort of there. I notice it. It's got a nice toothy lug Vibram Commando sole, which is always good. Another thing I don't really like, my Thorogoods came with these laces too, these like sort of nylon laces. Yeah, they're super tough, but I do not like the look of them. They don't complement the boot very well. They're like yellow and orange. They're okay. Me personally, I like to throw in some rawhide laces. I think they look way, way better. I get my rawhide laces from Jesse at Guarded Goods, typically. Truman also has really good rawhide laces, and so does Viberg. They sell some really nice rawhide laces. But yeah, so these nylon laces, you know, yeah, they're tough. They're definitely not my favorite. Whenever I have a pair of boots in these, I immediately throw in a new set of laces. The hardware on these Redwings, also not very impressive. It appears to be thin nickel hardware, and part of my problem is, all right, so these are my nasty tattered Redwing Moc Toes. These I used exclusively as work boots. I got these from J. Crew. These have been, you know, pretty good work boots. They're a tool. I don't treat them as anything nice. They're not a prized piece of my collection. I think I got them from J. Crew on sale years back, probably 2015, 2016, on sale for like $180. They were added to their sales section, and I said, sure, why not jump on them? They also have the Vibram Lug Commando sole. The leather has sort of like a pebble grain to it. It's also got this padding on the back. I'm not sure what's all in there, but it's got foam in there for ankle support, but this material doesn't breathe very well. Talking about these eyelets, if you sit down on your boot on the ground, or if you scrape up against like a tree trunk or something like that, put any pressure on them whatsoever, they'll cinch down. So you need some pliers to undo that. It's not very good for a lot of reasons, because the more you do that, eventually, you know, like any thinner metal, the more you bend it, eventually it'll break apart. So eventually these would need, if I kept using these would need to be replaced. So I'm not the hugest fan of the speed hooks that Redwing uses. They're just not the highest quality, you know, but not a knock against them. Alden uses similarly thin speed hooks. And so here are my Alden Indy 405s. These have been wonderful boots. These are one of the first pairs of Aldens I ever had. The 405 Indy comes in a calfskin leather, which I've subsequently come to find out from my buddy Phil at Ashland Leather that this is what Horween calls Austin leather, and it might not be a true calfskin. But as I was talking about earlier, you know, with the Moc Toe, this Redwing is a true Moc Toe because the apron and the walls in the vamp are two different pieces. On the Alden, it's a fake Moc Toe. The Moc Toe is purely cosmetic. The apron is not a separate piece from the walls. All this is a plain toe with this Moc Toe stitched on. That's all it is. So yeah, you can see those two Moc Toes there. Alden Indies 8.5, Redwing Mocs 8.5. As you can see, the toe shape in the Aldens there dramatically lower than the Redwings. The Redwings have a structured toe. The Aldens have an unstructured toe. So yeah, pretty interesting there. Fake Moc Toe, real Moc Toe. The Indy's just such a luxurious. I love that True Balance last. So what I was talking about earlier about this copper rough and tough reminding me a lot of Horween's Smooth Chamois. So this is Horween's Smooth Chamois. These are my Alden Vintage Indies from Leather Sole, Hawaii. My favorite pair of Indies, probably the best Indies out there in my opinion. This Smooth Chamois tobacco has a very similar feel. It's just more luxurious, more oiled. Again, this is a Horween leather. Whatever this is, it's just going to be a little bit more drier to the hand feel. The Horween stuff feels more waxy, better nourished. For the purposes of a work boot, both leathers will do the job. So yeah, we've got a back heel strip here, quadruple stitched in. The back heel stay is stitched in, and that's going to, I believe, stitch in possibly another piece of leather back there for added support. This is firm. I can't crush this with my hand, whereas I could crush this. See, so they built something into there to give it support as compared to there. So that's good. And so aside from that, one thing that I will say is my buddy Joe is actually selling these. These are not the right size, so I'm going to be shipping these back to him, but you can hit him up on Instagram if you're interested in this pair. Great condition, a great work boot. Another thing that I wanted to address, one thing that I will give Redwing credit for is they did the rolled edge at the throat here. That is extra work, and in my opinion gives it a nice cosmetic boost, as well as on the inside there, the support lip is gonna be more comfortable on your foot. Compare that to the Redwing Iron Ranger. They didn't do that on the Redwing Iron Ranger. As you can see, the throat has an unfinished edge at the shaft opening. They did stitch an additional layer though on the inside of leather for ankle support, so that's good. So Thorogood makes a very good iteration of these. Wolverine does too, but Redwing is sort of known as the classic version of the Moc Toe, and for good reason. You know, it's got a lot of history. It's a heritage boot. It is a boot beloved by generations. This is a generationally loved product. This is something that families like that are into construction, roofing, carpentry, you know, the father passes the knowledge down that Redwing is the boot to get because it's a tool. It's so hard wearing. You can wear through the toe, keep wearing them. You can wear through the sole, get them resoled. They just keep on going. They're good enough to get the job done. I obviously have just the snob in me has some critiques, but overall, as a utilitarian piece of apparel, this has earned its reputation for a reason, and yeah, for that, I will open it up to you all. What do you all think about the classic heritage Redwing Moc Toe? I think it's pretty great, all things considered. It will get the job done. If you're not super into boots, this is a good one-stop shop for you. If you're in a career field that requires you to get dirty and to get beat up, then this is a great boot for you. If you're not like super aesthetically minded and you just want a boot to get the job done, then this is definitely the boot for you. So anyways, thanks a lot for watching, guys. What do you think about these boots? Leave me your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks a lot for watching. I will see y'all in my next video.